while back. Uh, oh, he ended up ending early that night. Besides that, well, I was on with him the next night, so I was on with him the next night, and you're talking Mike. I think on the panel, nobody except for him, and probably very few, if anybody, came in the audience. Probably why he ended early that night. I know what that's like. Anyways, I am live. Let me share this out. Hey everybody, how are you tonight? Welcome to the chill stream. I'd say a lot together, but not a lot. Um, went to see Deadpool and Wolverine today, although nobody's listening, so I don't know why I'm talking about it yet. Until some people show up. And other things. I think I will just now get on with some of the nice out. Okay, so yeah, what you see here, guys, for those locked in or whatever, this is cycle. I figured I'm going to finish up the last couple of pages here. Yeah. Really chat moment. Hello, oh, there is one person there. Although about the TV. YouTube. So let's see. Right now, we're just going to get basic questions. See me do it, or showed this off. So, radio over bus radio. Well, it's the section. They, okay. Is acting himself. I've kept it down there. My was hurt. Brain fell. Must have interaction. It's less. Go. Okay. Hey, Alpha, how are you? How exactly is it? I'm not sure what you need. I'm not in Alberta. I am in Ontario. Um, one of our people that is from Alberta, and that would be help for people that help right now. Uh, tell you when it comes in the chat. I forget the name. Hop in. But how are you today, Alpha? So you can draw this frame. So I want to be able to see Jack in it. What else? See this. Take that out. Can't really see the radio. Maybe I'll bring it back a little bit. Slave, let's see. They're going to be looking like this panel. Hey, Mike, how are you? Thanks for dropping in. Now, so like, are here again? No, it's not unless they're here with a comment, which is entirely possible. Um, when I do this for crowdfunding, I was thinking of doing a crowdfunder where the crowdfunder that we have it so that the people on the bus, you could be a passenger on the bus. It would come you seem to reboot. That's probably bad catching me. Oh my now, Mike. fan is really close. The fan I'm using is really close. That's probably why it returned. I'm gonna cool. Well, and I don't know why I'm pixelating it. It's taking a couple things down. Hopefully that might help with the pixelization. Anyways, I am off to dinner now. So I'll talk to you later. Okay, later, Mike. Okay, so let's see. Now we have Insecto. Panel 2 is him just thinking or saying, I'm probably going to end up making it a thought bubble because that's probably what it should be. Because he's thinking his wife is in the downtown core with her vehicle, and she might get hurt because some lunatic is trying to kill some people. Seems a little better. Okay, that's good. And so let's see. We'll have seats again. Oh, oh. Okay, so now here we're gonna have Jack. And then maybe we'll have the head of one guy here. Okay, so then we're gonna have Jack. Stop. And then we'll have Jack's hand here. Figure that out later. Hey, parasocial audience. That is who we were talking about, Elvis, before he is from Alberta. Okay, so that is panel 3. And you know what? I should actually be naming these panels. For that, let me change this here. Panels. So let's see. I missed your drawing change. well, hopefully, eventually, I will be doing them again. Well, in fact, right now, as you can see, I'm sort of doing them. I'm incorporating um, it into the chill stream. So, what we got here tonight, though, is I am this is like 7 comic books away, or the seventh comic book away. This is Insecto 1. You see me showing it off a little bit last week. Um, or me starting to do the thumbnails. Hey, Crooked Painter, how are you? So I'm getting right now. I'm getting in all the various thumbnails for it, which I've got this page to finish off and one more page. What I was saying a little bit earlier, there's a spot where there's well, I'm in part of it here. A bus scene. Jack is on the bus, and I was thinking when I get to this in crowdfunding, I might leave some spaces open and do draw in um, people on the bus. Would you like that idea? So people on the bus with Jack. I'm not sure how much I'd be charging for that yet, but and that's a few campaigns away, of course, as well. Yeah, great idea. Woohoo. Let's see. So you would have this page possibly. Uh, there's somebody that would be right here in this scene, but you would possibly have seen them in the scene before. This one where you'll see them, depending on how I do these next couple of panels, might be in there. Um, but you would definitely see a bunch of people on here. So I'm thinking you have a possibility. This one's Jack, so 1, 2, 3, maybe 4. Wait, why do it? Why wait? Do it in the next one. Well, I'm not sure whether there might be a thing in Canadian Shield where I can do that. Have a church crowd. I have a church crowd makes lots of cameos available. Um, and I guess they could be. I could do stuff, but I have to confirm with my artist whether he'd be willing to do that. Whether he thinks he could do that for that. Save one for me. Well, like I said, that's about 7 campaigns away for this one. Um, so yeah, and it'd be on the campaign for sure. So you just have to buy it, Crooked. But we've got to go through Canadian Shield 3, Snowdrift 2, Flame 1, Canadian Shield 4, Snowdrift 3, and Flame 2 campaigns. This is for Insecto #1. This book. Um, if I can find a way to do it in other ones, and the artist is willing, um, I'm not sure whether there's anywhere in Snowdrift at the moment I can do it. And why not sell them in the next one? You can always add passing. Yeah, well, there's no bus scene in the Canadian Shield number two, number three. If there's somewhere that I can sell something like that and the artist is willing to do it, fine. There has to be, but I can't sell them a passenger on the bus if there's not a scene standing on the street. Yeah, it's possible. Right now, well, I just thought of it because I'm doing this one right now, so I thought of it exterior shots. Yeah, I could do stuff like that in this one as well. But let's see. I'll come back to that in a sec. Uh, like I said, I know there's Canadian Shield 3. There's definitely a good scene for that. Like I said, in a church scene where there's a bunch of the people in the seats in the congregation, I could do that for sure. There may be some people on street when he's fight in the last scene when he's fighting um, Absorb. I'm not sure who's the boss with. Uh, Watching fights. Yeah, yeah, I get what you're talking about. Well, I may be the boss, if you will, but one can like if I'm getting somebody to do something like that, Crooked Painter, can they draw somebody that we know from a photograph, or if they have a photograph, can they draw that person? You would think it would be yes if they're drawing like characters and stuff, accurately. And then I have to come up with some stuff, how many spots I'm willing to sell in that audience, because technically I could probably sell 10 or 20 in like that audience. Like um, this isn't going to be the best to see it. Let's see. That's comics. Uh, this is from when I was trying to do it a while back. Okay, so let me. I'm not sure how well you guys can see this. Let me take the. So I took this. So yeah, this is a scene. Like I started this while and I was going to draw a whole bunch of different people in different seats. But you see the Canadian Shield in the back there. I was using these chairs as reference, and then I was going to add in whoever I wanted. I just wanted this for reference for getting the chairs in there. But yeah, I definitely could do that. I've got to talk with him about that. That's page 7, so I should actually talk to him now about that. That's 7 and 8. Yeah, something that like that would be dope. Because on the last campaign, it wasn't quite as elaborate as that, but um, I did have name that firefighter. Um, you weren't able to get the firefighter's face as a firefighter, but firefighters usually have the name on their last name on their um, jacket. So I guess if something happens to them, you can know who it is. So yeah, I sold a couple spots for that. Yeah, get on him. It's if it's a good idea, do it as soon as possible. Yeah, it just means he will have to come back to those pages, and like I would have to color them later, which wouldn't be too much of a problem. In the middle of the campaign, I could color everything, but that stuff, but the people. But I got to get him moving faster, just as is. Actually, you know what? That's what something I should do right here, right now. So he sees, and then he doesn't reply. Well, let's before we say anything, let's check Drive. He has a tendency to put stuff up and not tell me. Oh, we have. Okay. You guys are going to see this for the first time. Let me download. Comments. Okay, so now let's come back to streamer. Maybe make uh yeah, $100 is a sweet spot. 150. Oh wow, maybe 200 if you have a few special spots. Wow, I wasn't thinking that much per thing. Let's see. Open. So here is page 2 of Canadian Shield 3. Okay, I'm not liking the way he's doing the face. It's the face is consistent. I'm gonna have to give him the look for the face that he had in the first one. Uh, this panel here. Oops. Yeah, and the other thing is, I want the coffee table in front of the shield's legs. Alpha is the reprogramming of African eyes, tiny bees. Okay, oh, it's the Hulk. You want him to look like the Hulk? I want him to have the build of the Hulk. Yeah, he seems to get the emblem slightly off, but that's all right. I can correct that easily enough. Just for those that didn't see, I know I downloaded it, or did I download it? Now let me download it again, just to be on the safe side. Uh, how much are you paying him? How much extra time for touch-ups? Well, I'm not supposed to say how much you're paying your artist. I'll say I'm getting him for a very cheap price. How much extra time? But that's the problem. How much extra time for touch-ups? That is a very good question. That's the problem. A lot of these touch-ups I could probably do myself. I did it for the last one, or there came a point where I did. Oh, he did redo this one. Okay. Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, if he's making bare bones, he might not want to redo stuff he did. Okay, so yeah, he did do some of the redo some of the stuff in this one. Um, because the cape's on here, the emblems on here, although not quite as good as I would like. He moved this arm so it's easily more seeable. Does that look less menacing? I'd have to agree. The only thing he didn't do was this chair. Oh, and he didn't move the Canadian shield up much or any in this middle panel. I'll worry about the emblem myself. I might give him. I might give him a picture or two from the number two to remind him of the face of the Canadian Shield that he came up with. Because here, let's see. Let's move to number two. This one here. Because I put in the scruff there myself. But how close do you think that face looks to? They look almost similar, I guess. But I guess it's more. It's in this one. And these ones that it doesn't seem quite right. But yeah, what can you do? But there's a look. Okay, so we're gonna get rid of all this stuff. You guys got to see a first look at page two. Um, why is he black? DEI. Well, he is Native American. I was trying to do the reddish skin tone. Obviously, I didn't quite get that. I think maybe I didn't quite get that. I don't know. Sure. It looks seriously close enough. Dude is black. Oh, what makes the red man red? I don't know. Hey, Metal, how are you? And well, I wouldn't say he's black as a spade because then I have him. Here, let me see. I can just grab this. Then I'd have him more. That for black. Sunkiss. Horrible. His nose is wider. His nose is a little wider in the ones he said looks. He said, but, oh, is the art great? No. Yeah. The art is great. I'm not denying that the art is good in the least. And I think that's a how do you horrible. Okay, what do you mean by horrible? That I don't know what makes a red man red? I think I did go with. None of that looks good for a skin color that I've done there, but you know what? Let's just get on to. I need to get back to what I was doing. Okay, we have him ringing the bell. Okay, so you know what? We're gonna have. Uh, okay, so metal. If you're still here, what do you mean by horrible? What makes a red man red? His skin? Chat matters here. Ready to get off the bus. Oh, we already discussed this. Oh, we did? Okay. What did we? I'm not even sure what you were talking about. What we discussed. Well, what makes her? Oh, his skin tone. Is that what you're talking about? We already discussed metal. How's the girlfriend situation coming? Oh, you. We did not go many golfing, and that situation is pretty much null and void now. I discussed it a lot more a few weeks ago. Gave a little bit of information that I hadn't given before, which was purposely. You asked me how I was doing. Oh, I said horrible. Okay. And I said, oh, yeah, yeah, okay, okay. Yeah, I get it. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Hopefully things are not buffering now. Hello, hello. Okay, yeah. I think you would have been here for that, Joshua. And yeah, so yeah, sorry, Metal. I didn't realize that you were answering horrible to how you're doing, and I get what you mean now by we discussed it. I thought horrible was to some other question or whatever that I had put out there. Okay, so are my and if everybody could hit the like button and share this out. Uh, I wasn't there apparently when you spilled the beans. I'm pretty sure you were, but okay. The basic thing is when we went out on to see the concert, we and I think I told you guys this. We met some guy from the Ukraine in line in front of us, talked to him, but she got his number right there in front of me. And she ended up texting him while we were at the concert, and she ended up going out with him, starting to go out with him a few weeks ago. But and then, but also when we went out for fireworks, July 1st, so that would have been a month ago almost. not quite as long as ago as I thought. But anyways, she ended up inviting some other person who happened to be a guy who was a bit of a douchebag, in my opinion. Hey Jeff, how are you? But then instead of going mini golfing and putt putt, we were supposed to go for a hike. Then I switched. She said about not wanting to go on a hike with me because she started going out with this guy, or she didn't want to go with him. So we switched to mini golf. I switched to mini golf, or did I switch it to mini golf because she wasn't sure about a hike or whatever? I forget exactly. But then we ended up going to just some, I'll say, not quite a coffee joint, but talk for a bit, and then I meant just somehow we got on the conversation of war, and as I said sometimes it's good for nothing, and then she really freaked out on me saying, you know, not really let me get a word in edgewise at that point. Freaked out like a 5-year-old little girl, saying that war wasn't good for anything. And yeah, I've seen her a couple times since at a place that we both frequent, but I don't interact with her that much. Or try not to. War, huh? What's it really good for? Saying war is saying war is good for nothing. Reciting lyrics to a song. Yeah, I realize that. Plenty of chicks out there. Yeah, for sure. Yes, the song. I know. Somebody else in the chat was reciting the lyrics to that. It seems like the thing that automatically comes to mind. I was able to basically say, like, what about, going to war against Hitler? And she's like, well, because of all the suffering, that wasn't even good. Yeah. Did Rick mini golf with a young lady? No, was supposed to. The song was by Edwin Starr. Maybe try working some older woman like. No, thank you. Was she asking your opinion on the Middle East or Ukraine? No, I forget exactly how it got mentioned. Although, funny enough, the guy that she's going out with now, or last time I knew she was, if she has the spasm that she had on me on him, it's over. Because this guy was not, he's from the Ukraine. He's living in Canada now. But this guy basically, he wasn't living in the Ukraine when the war started. He went back to the Ukraine and enlisted because he has medical degrees or whatever, and helped out for a brief time or a bit of time. And the only reason he stopped is because of the Ukraine government being a bit of doorknobs as far as he was concerned. So this guy obviously going back to his country to sign up for the war, obviously believes war is good for something. Think you would like being a kept man? Probably not. Uh, War against Hitler's rocket was supposed to keep Czechoslovakia and Poland free. Both were vassalized by Joseph Stalin, who killed twice as many as Hitler and installed Mayo and killed 50 million. Yeah, yeah, well, I get that there was obviously some bad things that came out of the war too, but you know, if Hitler would have won World War II, think of what the world would have been like now. I don't think it would have been a pleasant place. So Hitler and his cronies had to be stopped. Yes, unfortunately, some places didn't get as free, shall we say? Uh, to be fair, it isn't pleasant now either. Well, yeah, true. It isn't. It isn't pleasant, but it would have been way worse. Joshua, maybe she wanted Hitler to win. Who knows? Hey, Hitler shot himself before he could rack up the numbers. Ask some Polish who was colonized by Russia 50 years. Yeah, well, they probably would say. I'm not sure whether they would say it was good or not. Um, they obviously wouldn't like to be under communism for sure. I don't disagree. Russia and all that wouldn't have like. Well, a lot of the citizens would didn't like being under it, but I don't think if Hitler wasn't stopped, I think we'd all be under communism right now. Or is it working towards going that way at the moment? Or that's what the left would like for sure. Okay, let's see. Okay, so there we go. We have Insecto in there in that panel. Yeah, so what I'm probably going to do after I get all these done is I'm probably going to go back and draw one character at a time imperfectly, whatever panel throughout. Like, say, I'll go and do Insecto. Every panel that Insecto is supposed to be in, go in and draw him. The eugenics twist would have made Hitler rise, but it's the same. But it's the same as his fancy tanks. What's the point if you can't pump out enough to win? Okay, I'm not sure exactly what you mean. I think I get part of what you mean, but I'm not sure the full gist of it. Crooked. Oh, and what else? There was something else. Well, like I said, see. Oh, and the other thing, especially for me, she's ended up more seeming to be. Although I met her at church, and the place that we've both frequented as a Christian ministry, she apparently has found more Buddhists than Christian. That's the other thing. That's probably the biggest deal breaker for me too. But all the other stuff, killing folk. Okay. The eugenics test would have made Hitler's rise, but it's the same as his fancy. Oh, if you can't pump out enough to win. Filling folk? Okay, that's still not sure what you mean, but good, we got that and the fact that she has a boyfriend. Well, yeah, well, that too. Uh, have considered any of the benefits of a girlfriend into yoga? Well, I don't think she's into the yoga part, from what I know, but or she could be. But yeah, he was exterminating undesirables. Yeah, like after he was done with the Jews, he probably would have went for the blacks, and I'm not sure who next. I know he was also going after gypsies, and I believe he was against Christianity too. So the Russians and the Catholics probably next. Yeah. Oh well, Russia was his allies, I think. In 1940, Hitler and Himmler had Adolf draw up a plan to transport 4 million Jews to then French Madagascar. Yeah, but they wouldn't have them at first until he turned on them. Yeah. but that assumed the British would sign a ceasefire. Okay, yeah, I've read up until that point. But Joshua, yeah, well, yeah, she had a boyfriend, but even at that with that, even I could still want to be with her if she had a boyfriend, but in a lot of ways, I don't want to have much to do with her. Like I see her, I'm going to be cordial, friendly, and all that. Be whatever, I guess, a friend, for lack of a better way of saying it. Okay, so we're going to have. You know what? I want to do this in the other direction. So I want blast is coming in the sector in this dodging away from that. So an arm will be this. So the arm over here is uh, don't be violent. Yeah, in this case, I think I have to agree with elk or parasocial. Okay, I think I even more have to agree with social now. So that is the last panel of the comic. You don't find who out who's shooting the blast till the next comic. It's an unchristian to have thoughts about women's back. Yes, but many Christians do. And vice versa for the female persuasion of the Christians as well. Okay, so let's see. We said about going back and just doing certain characters right through, get them perfected. So, and I was saying about Insecto first. So, the first page we have, of course, here is okay. Okay, so let's put a folder in here. We'll call it Insecto. Uh, if they are not UI, technically, the the bits aren't naughty. It's just how one uses them that would make them naughty. Okay. So we're going to start with panel 4 here. I think panel 4 might be the easiest. Making more people is wrong. No, it's, well, yes and no. It's because it's according to Christian scripture, of course, and you probably know this, is it's supposed to be inside the confines of marriage, not outside the confines of marriage. Yes, be fruitful and multiply. Yes, but that was also before the fall in the garden, too. That command was given. Doctrine is different than scripture. True. doctrine is how one denomination, shall we say, interprets scripture. So God doesn't want us to be fruitful anymore. I didn't say that. He just wants. There came a certain point where he put rules on it. Helps telling others how to live. I guess no, obvious. No, I should look at insect wings. Okay, that's looking good, but I definitely need to tweak it some more. I think. Okay, so I like that. Like I said, I'll come back to this. I'm gonna go through. Well, what I think I'll do is I'll go through the whole thing, get everything better. Um, and then I'll probably do a second through. Uh, Obama has two buildings over 10 stories because the line got too long. Okay, I was liking that. Oh yeah, I also had two interviews this week, guys. And I have one set up. No, not this week. Last week, and I have one set up for next week. Okay, something needs to be done about that. I one I was supposed to know Friday last Friday by, so they never got back to me either way. So I'd assume I don't have it. The other said a couple weeks, and I was supposed to get a call yesterday about a phone interview, which didn't happen. I think tomorrow I might text that person back and ask whether it's going to happen. So I'm telling you, yes, I'm gay for sure. Okay, I got to get this worked out better. This is looking. Okay, so this looks better, but it is definitely off in certain ways. Okay, it looks a little bit better than it did, I think. Looks better, but it looks worse for the head, anyways. And I'm not going to be doing all this on screen. Like I will over the next week, I will be doing more of this stuff off air. So it's just something to do well on air now. And I hope everybody enjoys seeing this done on air. And something to do while we talk and about whatever. having a bit of a plan, and it helps me get this done. And this, okay, so uh, what jobs are you interviewing for? Um, the first one that I had last week was for golf cart attendant. The other one was cook, for lack of a better saying it, at something slightly better than a daycare. They did from infants to like grade 12-year-olds cook at that type of school, which there wasn't a lot of cooking involved, but it was sorting out the kids' lunches that got brought in, and then distributing, doing the dishes, which would probably be the most thing, and then the odd time covering a teacher's class while I guess they're on break or something like that. Would have been, I think, real good. That one's the one that I should know. Um, the one that I was supposed to get a phone interview for was I'm not sure exactly what I was doing. Or something I could do called place called Art Sign. So I think they did, your neon signs or whatever. The one for next week is at a place called Sherwin uh, Williams. It's a paint place where they mix up paints, that you paint your walls and that and stuff like that. And I think they have a little bit more than paint there, but I'm not sure what else offhand. Anyways, and then I've done, uh, so I'm applying for cleaning, cooking, warehouse, cashier. I had an interview a few weeks back for a cashier. Um, I had an interview a few weeks back for cleaning at a golf course, cleaning washrooms and all that. Okay, so I need to keep this one on for when I go to do the other part of it for the Friday. But that's not the best, but I'm liking it. It looks better. So, you know, a lot of different things are being contemplated. I've got to, I've got to do up specialty resumes soon. Uh, lawnmower service are a good place to make some cash. Yeah, I've looked into that. There's a bunch of places that do that, but a lot of them want you to have your driver's license, and I don't have that. And I've looked, into construction for where I don't need my license. Like, I've recently got my food handlers certificate, excellent in customer service, and WMIS. And soon I've got to retake a test to get my smart serve, which allows me to do serve alcohol. Mm. So those four panels are looking a little better, I would say. It's panel six now. I just want to grab something to drink here. Hey, good night, Spoon. How are you? Please recap the discussion prior to my arrival, specifically why metal is horrible, what Joshua is responding to when he's saying she has a boyfriend. Okay, well, that would be. I'm not too bad. She has a boyfriend that would be. I was going over for Crooked Painter, and I guess Joshua. The whole situation with the girl that I liked, and no longer, you know, still pretty and all that, but that I not the person that I no longer have much of an interest in. I guess is the best way to say it. And as for horrible, if Metal is still here and he won't mind me saying why, then he can let me know. Otherwise, I'm not going to go into that. He probably wouldn't have a problem, but I want to make sure it's all right with him first. Uh, lesson in not romanticizing people you don't know. Well, how do you get to know somebody otherwise? And I thought I did. Okay, then I will not say anything more than what's been said. Which I don't think is much. Um. Anyways, what else did we talk about? Uh, we talked about. I did. We talked about Canadian Shield number 3 a little bit. We talked about Insecto number 1 a little bit. My painter. I usually use initials in my responses. You should change your name to accommodate my behavior. I just got Esponda and made it to Zorus. Oh, cool, cool, cool. Is that for Link or Zelda? However you want to say it. Esponda and Sior Zathorath. Zathers? Zather? Zathura? And then, of course, we were talking about just before you came in. I was saying that last week I had 2 interviews. I was supposed to have a phone interview yesterday. Didn't happen. I'm probably going to let the call the guy or text the guy tomorrow and ask what's up with that. And I have a in-person interview next week. And then I was saying thoughts on the Mr. Beast situation. Um, I don't know. I've heard a little bit about it, but not enough to probably make uh, a reasonable comment. Or you can continue about your job. Well, not a sequel, basically the same. No, Zathura wasn't a sequel, but yeah, it was basically the same, but in space. But it didn't have anything to do with Jumanji. Well, situation. Well, what situation are you talking about? Aware of? There's five going on right now. Okay. Uh, him and his co-host or something like that. Is Mr. Beast a kid thing too, like doctor or best friend? So that's looking better than what was there. There's evidence to support that allegation. Painter, nothing as concrete as what's come out on his best friend. Okay, so all the insecto stuff in this is slightly better. Some of it still, I think it all needs to be improved a little bit more, but or a lot more. But it's a step up from what it was. So we're going to go on to the next page, although we have like 15 minutes. I will save that. Uh, I don't follow Mr. Beast. What is him and his buddy? Yeah, I don't follow him either. The short version is he knows she was exposing himself to mine as he suggested. Blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to repeat most of that. Because I believe Crooked can read. Uh, but there's also leaks about a new Amazon show. Also, guys, I went to see Wolverine, Deadpool and Wolverine today. It's not as good as the first two Deadpools, but it wasn't too bad. My God, Deadpool 2 was mostly trash. It looks pretty bad. Well, it's not as bad as it could have been if Marvel actually had their hands on it. Well, what is the point of building on an empire if you don't burn it down? Okay, so we just need to put some wings here too. These are looking more like leaves than I think wings, but how's Mike doing? Pretty good. He was in here earlier. I bet folks weren't even wine. They probably had stigmatism. Okay, and I hear his restaurant sucks too. Whose restaurant? Okay, now you're confusing me, Cricket. Uh, oh, Mr. Beast. Okay. It's almost be worse if they were blind. Okay, that's definitely looking a little better than the last one. So, leave that. And we're gonna put the thing in here. We'll just save this for now because we are 4 minutes from the end. Um, let's see. I want to see how many pages there are with Insecto actually in. Okay, so one, two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Uh, I see Rick is dodging the subject. They don't even know enough about the Mr. Beast thing. Oh yes, one thing I was talking about earlier. There's a bus scene here. Um, although this campaign is going to be a long time away coming. Well, depends on how fast the other books get done. I would be opposed to it. But there's a couple of spots where there could be passengers on this bus, and I was thinking of doing when I do the crowdfunding, a draw in. Yeah, and I told you not much. This is for Insecto, but there is a spot in Canadian Shield 3 where I could possibly put some people in, 5 or 10 people maybe. So there's 13 pages that have Insecto in, which is actually pretty good of a 20-page book. We got one done, or one made better. Uh, I don't think I'll have, obviously, 11 and pages done by then, but by next week. But I will plan to have about 5 or 6 done. of these. So somewhere along where Insecto is being drawn in is where we will be uh, hopefully done. Well, for this one, when this campaign comes around, if you see, you can't see it really good here, but I'll take this page here. There's a bunch of people on the bus, so you can, I'm not sure exactly who or what yet, how many people for sure. Jack, the main character, Sector's on the bus, says secret identity, and I was going to have other people sitting around the bus or standing. And I was thinking of doing on the campaign to pay for, to get drawn in, and you would be one of these people. And so there's be a minimum of one panel you could be in, depending on uh, the seed layout. There's a bunch of stuff for the bus on the next page. There's a spot here that was seen there. And of course, there's Jack there. And, some other people could be in this panel here that were in the other panel. And you might see some people in the back behind them that were in the other panels. So miserable on a bus. Where is the bus going? Is it a party bus? No, it's a regular city bus. He's going from the college that he's just enrolled in or registered. Technically, I think he was already enrolled, but doing the final stuff before having to, a cooking college just before, having to start classes in a week or two or whatever. But he's going downtown to downtown St. John, Canada, to meet his wife. So I've also never been to a college and I don't cook. Yeah, well, cooking and college would have nothing to do with this being on the bus because just the bus that goes by the college that he happened to get on that would be going downtown. And as for not ever having been on a bus, I don't think that would matter. I've also never been to St. John. I've never been married. Well, like I said, it's just quote unquote a cameo. And technically, as long as it looked like a live person, you could have anybody, almost anybody drawn in that you wanted. Hey, he's riding the bus to beach. No, not beat, beat. Meet up with her. She's got the car. She dropped him at the thing, the college, so he could go in and do the registering. And they said they'd meet up a certain spot downtown. Can I be depicted as a normal-sized, large, sentient, but inanimate spoon? Are you saying want to be what's that guy's name? The superhero? Spoon something? Spork? The Spork? I forget what the Spork guy's called. Is it Spork? I think you know what I mean. When did Canadian Shield get married? This isn't Canadian Shield. This isn't Secto. Number one. Dude is unadjustable. She gets the car. Oh. Oh, Sporkman. Yeah, there we go. Well, she's going looking for a job, so she's got a little bit more ground to cover. He's just going to the one place. Sporkman and no, nothing like that. So there's an anamorphic spoon slash Forkman, possibly in a costume. I'm requesting to be a normal spoon, but I'm magical. Sort of like is it Spoony or Sporky from oh, what's the name of it? Toy Story 3, 4. Sporkman by Soundgarden. How does he pay for? How does he pay for gas if she ain't got no job? Well, they've got some savings, they or whatever. They've just moved to the area for him to go to cooking college there, cook and painter. And they're staying at an old family homestead. That one that's been in the family for years, but nobody's been living there for whatever reason. Both of them need hit. Uh, I am in no way requesting to be a fork. What about a knife spoon hybrid? Um, Good night, friend. Or knife fork hybrid? What would you call a knife fork? North? North? A fight? A fight? Oh, anyways, we are after that alleged time of midnight. Let's call this with a short edge. I thought most wooden spoons did have a sharp edge. But anyways, it's that time again, folks. Time to close down the chill time. Chill time for another week. Wait, Rick. Wait for what? Um, we of course will be doing more of this next during the week, and we will see. Finish it off. We're gonna, do this ourselves a little bit during the week, and we're gonna be doing it on the show. That way, you guys see a little bit getting done each week. But hopefully, I'll be putting in 4 or 5 times as much time on it off air as I do on air. Knife spoon sounds awesome, but you would cut yourself when you eat soup. Yes, that's just a regular spoon, but do the word live before you do it. What word? Word live? Instead, just add a nod to Spike Good. Wordly? Wordly, what's wordly? There's my Get six chances to guess a 5-letter word. Okay, I guess we can play this quickly. Okay, so let me. Show screen. That's what I'm doing, as I think you can see. How to play. Where guess wordly. Each guess must be a valid 5-letter word. The color of the tiles. W was in the word, but in the correct spot. I is in the word, but in the wrong spot. U is not in the word in any spot. Okay. You got line in 5. Just got line in 5. Okay, clicks. Okay. Are we? Do you just type in a word? Okay, so the N is correct. It's in the right spot. W, R, O, and G are not in the word. Uh, trying to think of a word with an N in that spot that doesn't have. A phone or playing phone. Okay. There's no L or A or no O. Prune. There's no R. R is gone. That's stealing my fake guesses. Okay, P. Word. Good old North End. Doesn't mean there couldn't be P. Well, there's no A. PEA. Hey, Manticore, is that Rick Piper? Yes, it is. I'm not counting that because I have put my such a shit. Yes, it is a little bit banana. Yeah. Or you could, you beat me. I'm saying I beat you. Okay, so I get if you get corrections before me. No, I'm not going to be subscribing. So can I just go into this like what once a day or every day at midnight it resets? So, and at this point I have to wait like 24 hours. So I'm not doing another one. Save that for next week. Good night, Spoon. So again, I know it's a little bit later than what I said I was going to do. Thanks everybody for stopping by. I love having you all here. We will see you next week with more of Insecto 1 and whatever else is going on in my life. And who knows, might be some surprises some, that will shock everybody. Okay, bye for now. God bless. Every day we continue to stay. Almost just left the studio and stream.